out for UC Riverside. Brendan Herrick out for CSUN. As the Matadors win the tip back, Michael Irving, Ryan Wells, Wilson Holland are officials here tonight. Now CSUN with the basketball first. The Matadors had 3 and 9 in conference play as Aisi draws a double team. Last week, Matadors dropped a pair against Long Beach State and Fullerton as Callum McCray collects the rebound. And here is UC Riverside, wins over CSU Bakersfield and Cal Poly last week. Will Tattersall to the corner for Flynn Cameron. And a kickball, we'll keep it here with the Highlanders. But going back to last week, you had a 10-point win over the Roadrunners in which the Highlanders shot a season-high 53% from the floor. Well, they upped that to a new season high of 59% from the floor against Cal Poly, and they won it going away 78-58.
Yeah, a lot of high percentage shots in that game. A lot from the big fella here as he's underneath there. Gets the ball out to Dominic Pickett for the three.
Splashing one home. Dominic Pickett, he's emerged as the team's best three-point shooter throughout the course of the season. Last week was great. Went for 21 against Bakersfield, 14 more against Cal Poly. Here's a corner three, a bit too strong from Miles James, the Inglewood native. And out comes UC Riverside ahead 3-0. Pullen lost the handle, but Tattersall muscles it up and in before Christian Gray can get there. Last time these teams played, Will Tattersall had his best game of his career. 22 points. He was perfect from deep, 9 for 11 overall from the floor.
These last couple games, it seems like Will Tattersall's always in the right place at the right time, particularly around the cylinder.
Quickly 5-0 UC Riverside playing defense here against Gray. Doubled. James will try again from the corner, and again it's too strong. Now CSUN is 0 for 3 to start the game. Nice kip pass inside. Callum McCray with a two-hand flush. Great feed from Will Tattersall, the Aussie to the Kiwi, and UC Riverside up 7-0.
And Highlanders having fun out there. You see some smiles on the faces when offense is going like that. It is fun.
Jumper from Atten right off the mark, and CSUN ice cold here to start the game. Zion Pullen pushing. Averaging 13 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists per game, but talking with Mike Magpaio, he said there's still room for him to improve.
Yeah, looking for another level from Zion Pullen. That's scary for the Big West Conference as far as the tournament goes.
Callum McCray scooping it up and in, the little baby hook in the lane. This week's Big West Player of the Week. He averaged 15 points, 8 boards, 7 assists in the wins last week. He's the second UCR player to be named Player of the Week this season. Zion Pullen won it last month.
Yeah, speaking of getting to another level, that's Colin McCray. As looked like Atten Wright got through the defense there.
It's Elijah Hardy actually scooting his way through. He's a senior out of Oakland who's playing for his third different school. Spent last year at Portland State after he spent his freshman and sophomore seasons with the Washington Huskies. So their first points of the game, it took them nearly 3 full minutes. Pickett laying it up and in with the left hand.
No scoop shot right there. Dominic Pickett so good with the left and getting through the lane.
Highlanders offense picking up right where it left off from last week. They've made 5 of their first 6 from the floor.
Yeah, more high percentage shots for the Highlanders.
Hardy getting the screen from Aisi. Euro stepping his way, and a tough shot. Tattersall with a tough rebound inside. Pickett to Cameron, looking to attack, up and under. Count the basket, and a foul. What a start for UC Riverside. They've got a 13-2 lead, and Flynn Cameron, a physical take to the basket.
Yeah, I like it. You can see the aggression in Flynn Cameron's play. He's one of those pesky players that kind of gets under the opponent's skin and stays cool at the same time as he lays that one in. Nice play from Flynn Cameron.
Cameron went scoreless a week ago against CSU Bakersfield. First time that had ever happened for him in a UCR uniform. But then he came back with 11 points against Cal Poly on Saturday. And in that game against the Mustangs, UC Riverside had all 5 of their starters finish in double figures. That's the first time they've done that all season.
Yeah, coaching staff will take that. Get some production off the bench as well.
And an offensive foul against Christian Gray. We'll give it back to the Highlanders as we step aside.
Far from the field for the Highlanders. That'll get it done when you're trying to score around 50 in the half.
Jaylon Martinez, Daniel Matting onto the floor now. Here's Flynn Cameron wiping out. That looked like an awkward fall. Looks to be okay, though. Pickett will help reset it here. Drawing attention from 3 players. Tattersall to Matting behind the line. Drills it. Now Daniel Matting, who had gone a while without a 3-point basket, has now drilled one in back-to-back games.
Yeah, it looked like he was very confident shooting here pregame. I know pregame doesn't translate always into the game, but Daniel Matting looked confident stepping into that 3.
Darius Bean and Fidelis Okereke are on the floor now for CSUN. Oh, yeah. And off the glass there for Aisi. Now, CSUN trying to crawl themselves back into this game. And Onye Aisi will go to the free throw line. He's coming off a 12.7 rebound performance against Cal State Fullerton. He turned his ankle when these teams played for the first time. Only played 9 minutes, scored a couple of points.
Yeah, Aisi and Okereke might just be the answer for CSUN, especially with the Highlanders' perimeter defense.
Oh, Aisi able to knock down a pair. (17-14) in favor of UC Riverside. Highlanders getting points from 5 different players already, led by 5 from Pickett. Cameron spinning, blocked. Aisi right there. There's a pull-up, and it goes down for Atten Wright, who scores nearly 15 points per game. He's originally from Lakewood, went to Fairmont Prep, led Orange County in scoring as a junior, and they won a CIF title that same year. He's now in his sophomore season here with the Matadors. Now down to an 11-point game. Matting to Martinez, kicks to the corner. Flynn Cameron open. Ball tipped. Tattersall's got the offensive board, gets it back out for Pickett.
There's Tattersall, right place, right time, and getting that that ball that could have went either way.
Matting drills another triple. Well, that's a great sign for the Highlanders. If Daniel Matting can get that 3-point shot going, he's got 2 here in the early going, and the Highlanders lead by 14.
And Matting really effective off of the bench defensively, but yeah, if he can get his offense going, just a bonus for the Highlanders.
Second chance points there for UCR. Rebounding has been a point of emphasis for CSUN as of late. There's a smooth stroke from Elijah Hardy. The deep 2 is down for the senior out of Oakland, and it's a 20-8 ball game. Matting, jump stop, and gets it to go.
Feeling it.
Daniel Matting having an exceptional start to this game. The Australian has come to play here in the first half. He's already pushing his season high, which was 11 back in non-conference play. Okereke inside, and he will get himself to the free throw line. Matting does pick up his second foul here already, so that might prompt him to come out of the game here as Fidelis Okereke steps up to the line. His parents rather, are originally from Nigeria. He went to King Drew High School back in Los Angeles. Zion pulling back into the game. And Dragon Elkaz making his first appearance. Miles James checks back in for CSUN. Okereke knocks them both down. He's just a 51% foul shooter. Zion Pullen, the only starter for UC Riverside that hasn't gotten on the board yet.
He just hasn't wanted his shot yet.
UC Riverside playing with both bigs on the floor right now. Martinez dumps it off, but McCray had it stripped. There was good ball movement there for UC Riverside, but CSUN, who leads the conference with nearly 8 steals per game, generates one there. Atten right around the screen. Deep three on its way. And in a fight for the rebound, Callum McCray wins it away from Jaylon Martinez. Zion pulling 11 straight games in double figures. McCray has been such a key part of the offense here in the last week. Working the pick and roll, but he traveled here. And he knew he made a mistake, and that'll take us to a timeout.
Got the big fella down in the middle to help out as far as post play.
Now UC Riverside has made 9 of their first 12 shots. They've led by as many as 15. As here's a three, Miles James clanks it, and CSUN has missed their first 4 from beyond the arc here tonight. Zion Pullen navigating his way through the half court. UC Riverside sticking with both the bigs there, Callum McCray and Jaylon Martinez, and they've been working the pick and roll a lot with McCray. Cameron wanted to find Martinez down low. Now it's Elkaz rolling in a triple. That's a great sign for Dragon Elkaz, who hasn't scored in the last 6 games, but the 3 balls falling early for the Highlanders.
Yeah, good for Dragon to get that first one under his belt, get that confidence going. You might just see a couple more from Mr. Elkaz.
Already UC Riverside has 11 points from its bench as Elkaz pulls down a rebound. You go back to the win against CSU Bakersfield a week ago, and the starters had 71 of the 79 points. McCray, baby hook short, Martinez, tip out, and it's picked up by Marcel Stevens, who's just checked in. Stevens, a sophomore from Beverly Hills and Beverly Hills High School. Played at Impact Basketball Academy in Vegas before coming to CSUN. Flynn Cameron picking him up at the top of the key. Wright trying to get free and swishes a little fadeaway there from 15.
Yeah, you don't want Atten Wright to get it going because he can score in bunches.
Him and Hardy are 2 scoring guards, between the 2 of them averaging about 27 points per game. McCray nearly lost the handle. Re-entry from Cameron. Spinning, muscling, and gets it to go. The defense there from Okereke, but the offense from Callum McCray beats it.
Callum McCray with enough strength to just force that one over the big fella there, Okereke.
This is now 2.5 really good bouts of offense for UC Riverside over the last 2.5 games. Callum McCray, another rebound inside. He's got 5 of them already. Zion Pullen fouled and gets it to go. Now UC Riverside can do no wrong right now. Everything is falling. They're shooting 75%.
That's one of, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. One of Zion Pullen's big strengths, just getting to the basket and then being able to rise above, create contact, and then put the ball in the cylinder. Chance for the and one.
He was all Big West honorable mention a year ago and was a preseason all-conference selection coming into the year. And he has lived up to those expectations this season, converting the three-point play. And the lead has ballooned up to 30-12. An 18-point lead for the Highlanders. This one going much like the first meeting between these two teams as Atten Wright knocks down a jumper. So he's got 6 here early on to lead the way for CSUN, trying to keep them in it.
You almost feel like Attenwright needs to get about 30 tonight to keep them in the game.
Zion pulling, my goodness. A right hand flush, where did that come from?
He just rose up there on the baseline and flushed her home. Oh my goodness.
Look out, Onyi Aisi not deterred by the 6'9" forward lurking inside as Attenwright gets another jumper to go.
Zion Poland, wow.
We have not seen a dunk like that from him all season long. It's a burst of explosiveness out of nowhere. Dragon Elkas, he's 2 for 2 from deep.
I told you, he gets that first one going. He's got the chance to get a couple here.
Well, there was that home opener against La Sierra where I think he hit 5 3-pointers in a half. UC Riverside is 5 from 7 from beyond the arc to start this game, leading 35-16 now. Back out to Hardy. Stevens helps him out. The 3 is down. So CSUN's starting to hit their jump shots here, and they're up to 44%.
Yeah, they're going to need to hit those jump shots as Highlanders hitting everything right now.
First made 3-pointer for CSUN. Poland trying to shake free of Hardy. Flings it over for Tattersall. Long 2 is good. The shot making in this game, really from both sides, is very strong right now.
Yeah, these teams came out on fire. Like everybody had a good warm-up session.
UC Riverside is shooting 79%. They're 15 of 19 from the floor. Attenwright trying to draw a foul here as this ball goes out of bounds to UC Riverside. Initiate and distribute in the half court.
Yeah, and their plan has went very well as we've been able to see the Highlanders' offense has been just rolling since they've made that adjustment.
So tonight they lead by 18 points now. They've led by as many as 19, shooting 79% from the floor, 71 from 3. Go back to the first meeting against CSUN when they scored a season-high 48 points in the first half. Pickett knocks down that jumper. UC Riverside is just unable to miss here. They made 4 in a row and 16 of 20 overall. But in that first meeting, things unfolding very similarly. They led by as many as 20 in Northridge. They shot 59% from the floor and 50% from 3. So they're on pace to do much better than that here tonight. Blocked at the rim. Callum McCray denies Fidelis Okereke. Pulling, little floater. And that goes in, bouncing on the front of the rim twice.
Is that regulation size rim?
The rim has never looked softer to UC Riverside. Getting every bounce. Jump shot is down for Aisi. 41-21 UC Riverside. Here's Pickett for 3. That rims off. Rebound to CSUN. So the first miss in quite a while for UC Riverside. Hardy trying to make things happen. Callum McCray walks it forward himself. UC Riverside with 5 different players that have 6 or more points already. Kickball there against Marcel Stevens. Jalen Martinez is going to come on for UC Riverside, and for CSUN, Kalen Raines comes on for the first time, and Christian Gray is back in.
Colin McCray's only got 1 assist in this game. What's wrong with him?
Here's a 3 from Flynn Cameron and a loose ball foul going against Will Tattersall. Well, and guys are able to make shots off the dribble.
Very true, very true.
He's only got 1 assist, but Will Tattersall has 4, Dominic Pickett with 3. In total, the Highlanders with 11 assists on 17 made baskets. That's a very good ratio.
Yeah, good passing and finding the open looks, some high percentage shots, and then just knocking down those threes. 5 of 9 so far.
Aisi gets in position and gets it to go. Dominic Pickett trying to help out at the end. Aisi's got 6 points. Another kick ball here is Martin. UC Riverside basketball. Cameron, Pullen, Pickett, Matting, and Martinez, the 5 on the floor for UC Riverside. Again, Angus McWilliam out for the Highlanders, so it looks to be an 8-man rotation tonight for UCR. Hardy is going to pick up a foul here.
Yeah, Highlanders need production when you get out there. Short rotation, short bench. Got to do the job and stay out of foul trouble as well.
Both teams not close to being in the bonus yet here with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Adding fires to Cameron. Back to Pickett for 3. The Highlanders have missed their last 3 from deep. Still leading by 18. Aisi turns and faces. Matting tips, Martinez controls. Highlanders still shooting 71% here in the first half because they've made so many shots. CSUN with just 5 rebounds. Pickett, open, rhythm 3, well off the mark. Wipes his hand on his jersey. Thought that one might have slipped out as Aisi runs the floor in transition. Nice sequence there for the Matadors. 16-point ball game. Aisi has 8 to match the 8 from Atten Wright.
Yeah, when the big fella runs the court like that, you got to feed him.
Zone defense here. Cameron. That 3 goes down. Timeout called. And the Matadors will have the basketball here. Callum McCray, Dragon Elkaz return. So again, we're getting a look at this too big look for UC Riverside. We've seen it quite a bit here in the first half.
Yeah, it's been effective here so far.
McCray coming over, providing help defense, and he's got the loose ball. That'll go as a rebound to McCray. Elkaz with 6 points off the bench. McCray kicks to the corner, and Pickett was out of bounds on the sideline. Now UCR, they're attacking the zone though, trying to get inside and move the ball around. But they've turned it over a couple times here, and the offense was on pace to blow past 50 points, slowed up just a little bit in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the law of averages, just statistics, you know, it's going to even out after a while. You're not going to hit every single shot like the Highlanders were doing in the beginning of the game.
They were shooting 80% at one point, 16 of 20. 2 for their last 6 from the floor. Now for a CSUN team, they're trying to stay composed here. A lot of basketball left. Just need to chip away. They had a good second half against the Highlanders when they fell behind by as many as 20 points in the first meeting. Nia Olabode is on the floor for UCR, as this will be a backcourt violation or a shot clock violation, whichever one you want to call. Another good defensive possession there for the Highlanders.
Yeah, the Highlanders defense certainly doesn't sleep on possessions. Coach has to be happy with that.
Olabode is the 9th player in the ball game for UC Riverside in the first half. CSUN sticking with the zone. They find McCray in the middle. Backs it off. 5 to shoot. Olabode. Martinez knocked away, and CSUN has it. Shot clock was about to expire anyway. Final minute of the first half. CSUN trying to close strong. Hardy feeling it. Drills it. Elijah Hardy with 6. He, Aisi, and Wright have combined for 22 of the team's 27. Well, first half that the Highlanders have led by as many as 22. McCray left it short. Aisi physical with the big fella there. And CSUN will get it back with a 2.5-second differential between the shot and game clock.
Obviously, second half, CSUN's going to bring it, try to bring the intensity and chip away, like you said, at that lead like they did over in Northridge early in the year.
Right. Back iron. Elkaz the rebound. So this will not be a season high for points and a half for UC Riverside, although it was headed that way. But this will get it done. Elkaz rolls in another. Riverside still on paid administrative leave. The school doing an investigation into potential rules violations. Veteran head coach Trent Johnson comes out of retirement to coach them. You have Miles Brookins, Darius Brown II, as Callum McCray knocks down a jumper. But Brookins and Brown were starters at the beginning of the year. They've been out, both of them, since the first month of the season. Brendan Herrick, another starter, he's been out lately. So you've got guys that at the start of the year were maybe the 8th or 9th guy on the bench, have now been pushed into starting and key roles on this team.
Yeah, next man up, but sometimes the talent, especially in the Big West Conference, can be just too much.
Will Tattersall rejected by Christian Gray. He's got another chance, though, and the three is off the front of the rim. So this is the largest lead of the game here for UC Riverside, as that one rims out for Atten Wright, who had 8 points in the first half. Him and Aisi tag teaming as the leading men for CSUN. Elijah Hardy added 6. Zion Pullen deferring to McCray, who's now got 8 points to go along with 7 rebounds. Flynn Cameron rising, and it rims out for him. But no one in double figures yet for UC Riverside, but they've got 6 players, make it 7 players with 6 or more points.
Yeah, whoever's open in the offense, take that shot. High percentage shots have definitely equated into some balanced scoring.
It's also nice, too, as I was literally about to say that there have not been many turnovers in this game, and there still haven't been, just 4 for either side, as miscommunication leads to that one going off the baseline. It's been a very clean up-and-down game, not many fouls, just 6 total free throws. Had a nice flow tonight.
Yeah, most definitely.
Aisi picks up McCray, who spins, has position. And McCray battling there with Aisi. Meanwhile, the play comes into the front court for CSUN. Atten Wright, well too strong.
Callum McCray is like, I just ran down here. We're going to go back.
It's like doing suicides. Him and Aisi have been battling all night long. Aisi has not given him an inch. Very strong guy, able to steer the 300-pound Callum McCray away right there. Pullen fouled before the shot. Zion Pullen in the first half. Another Zion Pullen-like line. 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And one emphatic one-hand flush.
Yeah, he just kind of lulls you to sleep there in defense, and then he'll run right by you and dunk it like we saw.
Steps behind the line, left it short. Aisi the rebound. Pickett able to deflect this one out of bounds as Atten Wright looked to have some space for a quick second. And Dominic Pickett has proven throughout the course of the season to be one of the best defenders, but he's also good about creating steals and getting deflections like we saw there.
Yeah, he's always got his hand in the passing lane. He's really good at anticipating, and a lot of times I think he kind of lulls you into, oh, yeah, you can make that pass. Then he steps in and kind of baits you into it.
Jalen Martinez coming in for the Highlanders. Here's Wright dumping it off. Aisi shot fake, and he'll get to the free throw line. CSUN trying to get on the board here in the second half. It took them about this long to get their first points in the first half, just under 3 minutes. So here is Aisi. He's already 2 for 2 tonight. Knocks down the first. He's originally from Nigeria, went to Prolific Prep in Napa. They get a lot of West Africans to go to that program. Have players on this year's team at Prolific Prep going to UCLA, USC, and Oregon. Tons of college talent playing there every single year.
A little bit of pressure here shown by CSUN.
Update from our producer-director. Tie ball game in Davis, 59-59, going to overtime as this ball will stay here with UC Riverside. The Gauchos coming into the SRC Arena on Saturday. UCR and UCSB, their first meeting was COVIDed out, so I think fans of the Big West are really excited to see how those two teams match up. It's a matchup we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, Santa Barbara had a tough stretch during that COVID run, losing players and being shorthanded in some of the games they did play as Flint Cameron gets the basket inside.
Now UCR has crossed the 50-point threshold here, still well in control.
Christian Gray still trying to get himself going in this game. No points so far in limited minutes.
Hardy rattles home a triple. He's got 9 points. We get the deficit now to inside of 20. And CSUN knows they've got to speed this game up a little bit. We saw it in the first half too, where they come down court. Second they got an opening, they'll take a shot. As Zion Pullen will shoot a pair of free throws when we come back. UC Riverside on top of CSUN. 8 points now. The guy they call Muscles from the East Bay area. UC Riverside was the first Division I team to offer him. And he ended up coming to UC Riverside after all, as Will Tattersall's going to check in.
I'm sure the Highlanders are very happy he did.
And just a sophomore here. Third-year player with that bonus year of eligibility, so could be here for 2 more seasons for the Highlanders. They've got some nice young pieces here. Will Tattersall, just a sophomore. Jalen Martinez, a freshman in terms of eligibility. Inside right, try to dump it off. Traffic inside. Jalen Martinez got the steal, but it was poked away right at the rim. Couldn't get it to go, and now Zion Pullen with it. Highlanders leading by 21 as Pullen is fouled again.
How many times at home here in the SRC Arena have you seen in the second half Zion Pullen just kind of take over the offense, methodically getting to the rim, drawing those fouls, and kind of wearing down the defense as far as their enthusiasm and their spirit.
It's almost like the first half is he's picking his spots, he's setting up his teammates, getting everybody involved, and then once he's got a feel for the game, comes out blitzing in the second half. And it's kind of like, you know, we've given you a couple different punches, and now here's one of our best punches that we've saved coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, here's that right cross. Zion Pullen putting teams away, especially here at the SRC Arena.
Largest lead of the game now for UC Riverside at 23 points. There's a foul on Darius Bean rising up. Will Tattersall, can't believe the call. Well, here is Darius Bean to the line. He's a Northern Illinois transfer. Spent his freshman year at Southern Illinois before going up to Northern Illinois. So he traded in one dog for another, going from the Salukis to the Huskies. Did not continue that trend, obviously, going to CSUN.
The Salukis?
Yes.
All right.
It's a Persian Greyhound.
Okay, okay. My wife would know. I don't know the dog breeds that well.
I could go down a whole rabbit hole of explaining why they're the Salukis, but everyone's got Wikipedia. You can figure it out. 55-33.
We might have time in this game, though.
We'll see. We'll save it for later. Pickett on the drive, falling away, hand in his face. And that's a tough shot there. Okereke was right there, providing some help defense. A little bit of a smaller lineup here for CSUN. Okereke and Gray, the tallest guys out there at 6'6". Okereke's a load, though, down low. He can bang bodies with McCray. Tip ball, Daniel Manning rips it away. And he continues to get better here over the last week and a half.
He's setting up to get that 3 ball, too.
Made 2 of them in the first half. Dominic Pickett dribbles it off the leg of Okereke. Elijah Hardy, IEC coming back on. Okereke and Wright check out. Elkaz, can he hit another? No, his first miss. Made his first 3. Bean, jump stop, tough shot, gets it to go. Good speed there from Bean to set up the shot. Dragon Elkaz able to put a hand in his face. Callum McCray working on a double-double tonight. He's got 8 and 8. Madden gives it right back to him. McCray spinning, and the baby hook in. Now he's in double figures with 10, joining Zion Pullen, who's got 11.
High percentage shots right there. Callum McCray gets a lot of them.
UC Riverside is very good on 2-point field goals. They're 52% this season. That's the second best mark in the conference behind UC Santa Barbara. Stevens, left side 3, off the front of the rim. Rebound McCray. 1 rebound away from a double-double. Tattersall sets up in the corner. 22 points the lead for UC Riverside, trying to get to 15 wins on the season. That would be just the 3rd time as a Division I program as Tattersall gets the feed from Callum McCray. That was a tight window.
Yeah, that had to be a perfect pass. Threading the needle. Callum McCray does just that, and him and Tattersall give each other a little smile after that one.
The 2 guys from the Southern Hemisphere have tag teamed a couple times tonight as Darius Bean hits a similar shot right there that he did moments ago. Dragon Elkaz, rhythm 3. That's good. What a game for Dragon Elkaz. He's in double figures with 12.
And Dragon did a great job not to move on that screen. And that set him up to be open for that 3.
Deflection for Daniel Manning. And Tattersall with the steal, able to save it in for Callum McCray. Highlanders by 25. They quickly cover Elkaz that time. Manning.
Amadou So coming in on Saturday.
Oh, back to action here. 11:20 to go. Dragon Elkaz is in double figures for just the 2nd time this season. He's got 12 points tonight on 4 3-pointers. Previous, as Stevens just dribbles it off his foot. Remember playing La Sierra back in the home opener. He had 15 points on 5 3-pointers. I think this beats that one. CSUN being a Division I opponent that La Sierra is not.
Sure. Means a little bit more in conference, that's for sure.
IEC with the deflection out of bounds. So 3 in double figures now for UC Riverside, led by the 12 from Dragon Elcaz. Pullen with 11, McCray with 10. Cameron and Manning each with 8. Pickett's got 7 and Tattersall has 6. So nobody's got 1, 2, or 3. Everybody is producing with multiple baskets tonight. Tattersall had to deflect it right back to him. Now Cameron rolls in the 3. Highlanders nearly 50% from distance tonight, 9 for 19, and the lead is now 28. They have just not let up here in the second half.
Yeah, I love seeing Flynn Cameron get involved in the offense. He works so hard on the defensive end.
Back out for Atten Wright, floater with McCray closing in. Nice touch there from Atten Wright, who is now in double figures with 10. Wright, a guy who has had some big games this season. Last weekend against Fullerton, he matched a career high with 28 points. He's had 3 20-point games in the last 2 weeks. Tattersall a bit off the mark. Flynn Cameron nearly came in there, 2 deflected, but IEC ultimately with the rebound. Double team, back out. Stevens hesitates and rims out. And Callum McCray underneath.
Double-double now for Callum McCray. That was his 10th rebound of the game.
Second straight game with the double-double. That'll be a 6th of the year. And there's a 2-hand slam. Zion Pullen setting him up.
And that's what Zion Pullen could do. Lull you to sleep on the offense. They think he's going to go to the rack, and then he finds the big fella all alone down there.
Foul here against Flynn Cameron. So Callum McCray, easy to forget, missed all of last season with the knee injury, and he has just really blossomed here in the last couple weeks. He'd had bouts of good games, but it just seems like everything's slowing down for him. The offense running through him more has opened things up for everybody, and he's getting better looks too.
It's like he's in the basketball matrix.
Shot at the rim goes for IEC. This whole UC Riverside team might be in the basketball matrix based on the way they've been shooting the basketball. They're still at 58% for the game. Only at 41% in the second half. But they have extended the lead since halftime. Cameron, deep 3. Atten Wright lost the handle. Now CSUN has started to turn it over quite a bit here in the second half. They only had 2 in the first half, but they've had 7 here since halftime.
Yeah, trying to force things a little bit on the offensive end, and CSUN under the pressure, giving up the ball a few more times here.
So UC Santa Barbara able to defeat UC Davis. So both those teams are at an even 500 now. Davis at 4-4 and UC Santa Barbara at 5-5. Flynn Cameron with the shot clock expiring.
Both of those teams much more dangerous than a 500 team here in the Big West Conference.
There's a pull up from Hardy. McCray got a tip on it out of bounds. Back in the loss column, they need a lot of help, but in good spot to get a top 4 seed. They would own the tiebreaker over Hawaii with that head-to-head win. Down low, IEC rolls off. Jalen Martinez, a rebound on the weak side. So again, we've got the 2 big men out here for UC Riverside. What have you made of this 2-big lineup that Mike McPio has gone to a couple times?
No, I like it. I think the spacing is really good on the floor with the 2 big men, and each of them can pass, and obviously, as far as rebounds go, Highlanders have a big advantage with both of them on the floor.
Martinez drops it in. Jalen Martinez on the board for the first time. So 8 of the 9 to appear in the game for UC Riverside have now scored.
You like Martinez getting in the ball game, getting a little bit of production, get his confidence going towards the Big West tournament.
McCray affecting the shot here, deflecting it off. Kalen Rains coming in. So this is a CSUN team that, despite the game here tonight, they have still exceeded expectations this season. They were picked to finish last in the Big West preseason poll. As this jumper rims out, it'll go to UC Riverside. They had a lot of shoes to fill. TJ Starks last year was the top scorer in the conference at 22 points per game. He declared for the draft. He's now playing in Lithuania. Also had their leading rebounder graduate as well. All these transfers brought in, a lot of new pieces. You factor in the interim coach, some of their key returners going down early on. There's been a lot going on in the last year for this CSUN program.
Yeah, I mean, who's your leader? You know, you got the scoring and rebounding leaders of your team moving on, and then all those transfers, kind of hard to get some cohesion here at CSUN.
Well, UC Riverside, barring something crazy here in the last 6:13, they're going to defeat CSUN here in Riverside for the first time since 2015. Martinez. Oh, the three left it short. The bench was ready to explode on that one.
Martinez loves taking those three-point attempts. You can just see the glee in his eyes.
Now inside, 6 minutes to play. As CSUN had won 5 in a row in this building, as Dragon Elkaz has matched a season high with 5 3-pointers. Give him 15 for the game.
The Dragon spitting fire.
Well, it's been a long time since he's been fully unleashed, as there's an answer from Kalen Rains right in Elkaz's face there. Rains scoreless in the last few games. He's on the board. 72-46. Elkaz, heat check. There's good defense in front of him from Rains.
Martinez, another rebound.
Zion pulling. Right, keeping him in front. Cameron scooping it up and in. The finger roll. Flynn Cameron, he's got 13. 4 in double figures in total tonight for UC Riverside. Hardy misfiring on the three. So in the last 3 games now, UC Riverside has had its 3 best offensive games of the season. Zion pulling, rimming out, but the tip in, Callum McCray. This might be their best output against a Division I opponent this season. They scored 95 against Bethesda, so we'll throw that one aside.
Sure.
But last week, 79. Cal State Fullerton physical.
I wouldn't want to face any of those teams in the tournament, honestly.
Remember last year, UC Santa Barbara, who we're going to see on Saturday, they were a point away from knocking off Creighton in the first round. Creighton got free throws at the very end there to go from being down 1 to up 1. That was a 12-5 matchup. Gauchos could have very well gotten to the round of 32 if one more play goes their way.
Sure.
Hatton Wright, count the basket. It was Hatton Wright that Flynn Cameron was yelling after there after they were separated. Flynn Cameron sitting on the bench now. I think that is some astute coaching there on the part of the Highlanders.
Yeah, you're up by a sizable margin. Let's keep things kind of even keel and get a victory and move on.
76-49 UC Riverside. So last week they scored 79 against Bakersfield, 78 against Cal Poly. They have a chance to eclipse 80 for the first time in conference play as Jalen Martinez is fouled. He will get to go to the free throw line. Hasn't had too many opportunities there this season. Martinez, originally from Vallejo. Played prep ball in Arizona and Nevada, of course, the UNLV transfer. Trent Johnson, the head coach of CSUN, the interim coach who's brought out of retirement to lead CSUN this year. He is a longtime head coach at some major programs, LSU, TCU, Stanford, Nevada. He took both Nevada and Stanford to Sweet 16s. And he's done a commendable job this year with CSUN, being dealt a tough hand.
No, absolutely. Yeah, as foul looks like on Pickett there again.
More free throws for Atten Wright. Now this year is Trent Johnson's 18th year as a Division I head coach. He's led programs to 5 NCAA tournaments. One more free throw here for Atten Wright. And it falls off the rim for him. Score will hold at 77-50. Wright's got 14 points. Him and Iesi combining for 28 of the 50. And that ball tipped out of bounds. Okereke getting a hand in there.
I really thought we'd be talking about Okereke a lot more in this game, have a lot more production, but he's been relatively quiet, only 2 points on the game.
Had a pretty solid game in the first meeting, 12 points, 5 rebounds. It was one of his better games of the season. And then last week against Long Beach State, he had his first double-double of the season, 14 points, 14 rebounds. Shot just does not fall there for Ni Olabode, who is looking for his first points of the season here. The Highlanders walk on, getting minutes here at the end of the game.
Yeah, and the Highlander bench giving him a little bit of the business because they know, as he knows, he should have finished that shot.
Oh, Olabode still looking for that first foul shot. Dominic Pickett knows what it's like to be a walk-on. He was a student manager before he even became a walk-on. And then from there, earning a scholarship, becoming the Big West Hustle Player of the Year last season. Amazing, the story of Dominic Pickett to go from manager to one of the best defensive guards in this conference who can also knock the three down as well as anybody.
Let me ask you a question. In the Dominic Pickett movie, who plays us?
I'm not sure. I hadn't thought about that. Who plays Dominic Pickett?
Well, I'm not sure about that either, but maybe we should write that movie because Dominic Pickett is writing a script out here, and what a fantastic story, fantastic player.
Olabode still looking for his first points as we're going to get Jalen Cross coming in now. Cross is going to play for just the second time this season. He played 2 minutes earlier against Bethesda. He's a Melbourne native, but came to the States and played at Culver City High School. So he's got those bright orange shoes there on the perimeter.
Little known fact about Jalen Cross, he follows me on Instagram.
That's a good follow on his part. Says out of bounds to UC Riverside.
I'm sure it was by mistake.
So Tattersall, the lone starter, still out there here for the Highlanders. And he'll handle the basketball with Matting, Martinez, Olabode, and Cross.
And a lot of work to be done here. Make sure that you execute plays. You're kind of auditioning for some more minutes the rest of the way.
Daniel Matting, that one looked good, but rimmed out. Offensive rebound, Martinez, but knocked free. And Cross commits a foul. Armand Pezeshkian is going to shoot a 1-and-1 here. Bezeshkian from Glendale making his first appearance in a game since January 20th. He's looking for his first points of the season here. And he gets it to fall. Teammates on the bench happy for him. So coming up for CSUN, they're going to head up to Davis. Next on the road, UC Davis is going to be hungry.
Oh, yeah.
And then at UC Santa Barbara before they close with Hawaii. Not an easy stretch by any means.
I think temper's getting a little hot there in the middle of the court once again. Yeah, those are 3 tough games right there for CSUN to close out the regular season.
Olabode with the basketball. Nice spin move. Look at the Highlander bench. Flynn Cameron and Dominic Pickett are on their feet. Martinez double, dumps it off for Tattersall, who scores.
The passing from the big men for the Highlanders, pretty fantastic.
Now, UC Riverside has matched a season high with 79 points against a Division I opponent this season. UC Riverside has 23 assists on 31 made baskets. Foul called here.
Look at how excited the Highlander bench is here in this one. Fantastic energy. Coaching staff has to be pleased.
So last Saturday against Cal Poly, probably the Highlanders' best all-around game. This one's probably got to be pretty close.
Yeah, they picked the right time of year to start having their best all-around games.
By the way, 23 assists. That is the best against a Division I opponent this season for UC Riverside. So they continue to set season marks here in these last 3 games. Marcel Stevens knocking down a pair. All right, let's keep all eyes here on number 40 and number 24 in white.
It's time to get a basket.
Here's Cross. Martinez. Threw it away.
As soon as Cross got the ball, the bench just started erupting.
Our Hercules Tires strong move of the game goes to Dragon Elkaz, who was pouring in 3-pointers tonight. 5 of them in total. He's got 15 points. Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Final 34 seconds. Little bump foul for Olabode means more free throws for Marcel Stevens. A couple more chances here for Stevens.
The crowd did not like that call.
As to be expected of the home crowd.
Sure, oh yeah. I love having the fans back here. It's so much better than a silent arena with Coach Magpayo yelling, and he scares me sometimes.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but when he's yelling, I'm intimidated.
Well, it's a good thing you don't play for him then.
I would love to play. It would be an honor to play for Coach Magpayo.
Good answer.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. No, and it's the truth.
Well, there is still a few seconds of differential between shot and game clock. Tattersall harassed. He's trying to set somebody up for a shot here. Dominic Pickett is going to go ballistic if Olabode or Cross do not get on the board here.
I think he's going to go ballistic if they do get on the board here.
CSUN still playing physical here and denying the ball, not going to let UC Riverside just shoot it around. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Cross, catch and shoot three. Oh, so close. Olabode flying in for a chance. Pazeshkian lost it out of bounds, just 1 second left, so that's probably going to do it. So UC Riverside's not going to get to that 80-point threshold, but they will match a season high with 79 points.
Oh, if only Jalen Cross would have hit that three.
And he only has 3 career points, none this season. $79-50.